I have a question for you. When was the last time you wished upon a star? I don't know about you, but for me, if I happen to say I'm closing the curtains for the evening or something, and I look up and I happen to see a star, and if I only see one star, it's an automatic reaction for me to make a wish. And I probably the next day, I don't even remember what it is I actually wished for, but I know that in the moment, it does something for me. It settles my nervous system. It creates a sense of wonder because I remember being a little kid and wishing on a star. And it also creates that belief in something magical. Last night, I happened to look out the window. It was the western sky, and I saw the brightest star. Now, today, I'm almost positive it was Jupiter, which honestly, that seems even cooler to wish on. So I saw this bright star in the western sky, and I just automatically was like, oh, it was as if it was for me, right? And I'm not being egotistical or anything like that, but it felt magical. It felt like I was that little kid again, and here was this gift given to me. And I made a wish. And then I just felt good. I felt good, which in this day and age, there are many times I don't feel good. My nervous system is through the roof. I'm worried about what could happen next. There are so many things to worry about and so many causes that I want to be a part of. And yet I also know that there is that feeling of, but what can I do? And I have no control over the situation. And that's something that I realized. Because in my mind, wishing on a star is magic. And so when I look for and find magic, it gives me a sense of control. Little tiny sense of control. And honestly, some days that's all I need is just a little tiny sense of control. When I was little, my mom, I remember the first time it happened. All of a sudden, one day, I'm sure sisters, brothers, everybody was gone, whether they were grown and out of the house or just at school. So it was just my mom and I at home. And I don't know, maybe she needed to find a sense of control because she said to me, Amy, let's look for fairies. And that's what we did. We went outside. Our backyard was very narrow. We had 2 plum trees that were at the time blossoming. We had a little concrete pond. I think my mom had tried to have fish in it, but I think the crows ate them. The crows were like, "Thank you, more please." And then we also had a statue of St. Francis. And so we went in the backyard. And I can remember looking up in the tree and all the beautiful blossoms of the plum trees and just thinking, is that a fairy? Did I just find a fairy? Is one over there? Oh, what was that? You know, it was probably a bee or a butterfly, or maybe it was a fairy. I don't know. All I know is that it made me feel, my little kid self, feel, well, first of all, special. Second of all, I had this purpose, right? I had a purpose to go out and look for fairies. And my mom was doing it with me. And I have a sneaking suspicion that at the time, now I was really actually very young. I was probably only maybe 4 or 5. I don't think I was in kindergarten yet. But I'm sure there were times because at that time, I think my mom was still a stay-at-home mom. Every once in a while, she would have a part-time job. But I think at that point, you know, it was in the 60s. Women did not have very much autonomy, right? And I have a feeling that she was trying to find some autonomy, some purpose, some control in her life by having us go look for something magical. All right, present day. I wish on a star or Jupiter, as the case may be, and it made me feel really good. I think that we don't have to go out and search for fairies. That's not my point. I mean, obviously, please do if that is something you're interested in. Because also, just so you know, I put trinkets in all of my indoor plants. I have pretty little shells and trinkets for the fairies. I just do. It makes me happy. Every time I water the plant or I'm taking care of the plant and I see those trinkets, I smile. And again, it helps my nervous system. So you don't have to go out and look for fairies in order to search for and find magic. That is a possibility, but there are simpler ways to search for and find magic. Actually, I'm going to challenge you today to search for and find magic somewhere in your environment. So whether it's a very gloomy day here where I am, but maybe where you are, the sun is shining, and maybe you notice how the sunlight is streaming through leaves and it makes a beautiful design on your furniture or outside on the ground. And in a way, that is magic. You could look at the human you're interacting with and actually think about them as a human, as once a child who also maybe wanted to find fairies and who wanted to believe in magic. I think all of us who grew up with, oh gosh, now I'm not going to remember if it was Saturday night or Sunday night, Disney, every Saturday night or Sunday night, there would be The Wonderful World of Disney on regular TV, because that's all that was invented then, was regular TV. There were no streaming services, no HBO, no Netflix, nothing like that. And, you know, it was just the whole thing with Disney, right? You wanted to believe in magic. Almost every single movie had to do with magic. There was some kind of form of magic, fairies, whatever the case may be. And so growing up during that time, you really wanted to believe in magic. So once again, I would say that I still do believe in magic. And every day I try to find at least one thing that's magical. I should have had the sign with me here. I have a sign next to my bed that says something magical is about to happen. And so when I wake up in the morning, I roll over and I just place my hand on that sign. I just touch it before my feet hit the ground. I'm just like, yep, I believe that something magical will happen today. And so because I have that expectation for magic, I believe I will find that magic. And I guess, you know, I know that I challenged you to try and find something magical. And I would say that if you're feeling overwhelmed or underjoyed, there's not enough joy in your life, especially right now. It's a hard time. It's a hard time to be alive right now. I don't know why I'm tearing up. Well, yeah, I do know why I'm tearing up, because it's a hard time to be alive. That looking for magic will actually help you feel more grounded. So even though you're looking for something impossible, that search for the impossible cracks you open to what is possible. And I truly, truly believe that. And I hope, my hope for you today, ta-da, my hope for you today is that you do search for and find something so magical. And I'm just so happy that you are here today. and I will see you next time. Bye. I'm Amy Kennedy Fausine, the Creative Crone, and this is where we use a little magic, a little mindset, and maybe a little mayhem to get through this menopausal life.